Corporate influence and the decline of health safety standards, what you need to know. Explore how corporate influence weakens health safety standards, impacting workers and consumers while balancing profits and public safety concerns. How corporate influence has impacted health safety standards. You know, lately I've been thinking a lot about how much corporate influence shapes everything, including things we don't always think about, like health safety standards. It's kind of scary when you zoom out and realize the ways big corporations, especially in industries like pharmaceuticals and manufacturing, can really push the needle in directions that sometimes undercut public safety. Now, this isn't about crazy government conspiracy theories or anything untrue allegations floating around social media. It's more about the subtle ways profits often trump precaution. Companies are businesses, after all, and when profits are on the line, health safety standards can sometimes take a back seat or get weakened to make operations smoother or cheaper. Let me explain. Health safety standards are supposed to protect workers, consumers, and the public from harm. These standards come from research, expert recommendations, and regulatory bodies that set rules for everything from how chemicals are handled to how much exposure to certain hazards is allowed. But here's the catch. Corporations influence how these rules are written and enforced. Lobbying. Big companies spend millions lobbying regulators and lawmakers to relax standards or delay new rules. It's a way to push the burden of compliance off their shoulders. Research funding. Sometimes pharmaceutical profits or manufacturing profits come through tweaking what's considered safe. Companies might fund studies that highlight benefits while downplaying risks. Regulatory capture. This is when the very agencies meant to protect us end up cozying up to the industries they regulate, leading to watered-down enforcement. All this leads to a trend where standards that were once strict and protective slowly erode. For example, you might have heard about workplaces where protective equipment recommendations have been weakened or dismissed because the company wants to cut costs. Or consider how some chemical exposures that once had tight restrictions are now allowed at higher levels, even though scientific concerns remain. This is often not because bad people want harm. It's because there's a complex tug-of-war between economic drivers and safety. The challenge is that while companies push for more lenient rules to boost their bottom line, the people affected, the workers, consumers, or even entire communities, bear the cost when the standards slip. It's also worth noting how this plays out in public health crises at times. Pharmaceutical profits can create conflicts of interest where companies prioritize blockbuster drugs over preventive care or transparent data sharing. That feeds into public mistrust and complicates responses during emergencies. But here's a hopeful point. Public awareness and investigative journalism have tightened the spotlight on these issues more than ever before. Whistleblowers, researchers, and advocacy groups continually push back against the decline in safety standards, and technology gives us new ways to stay informed and demand accountability. On a lighter note, if you're interested in stories that really capture the complexity of influence and power, though in a thrilling fictional setting, check out The Ultimate Frame. It's a novel by Andrew M. Semple that really explores these themes with a good dose of suspense. Discover this thrilling novel by Andrew M. Semple today. You might find it's a gripping way to think about these real-world issues through storytelling. At the end of the day, understanding how corporate influence impacts health safety standards helps us stay informed and push for the kind of society that puts people before profits. It's all about staying aware and encouraging transparency and responsibility wherever we can.